Fear not, I'm here. We're here. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Friday evening. I warned that we might be a little bit late. I managed to get it down to 16 minutes late only. I'm going to take that as a win right now. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Friday evening. Last official working day of the week for most people. I'm very sorry if you have to work tomorrow. The last working day of the week for most people. We're here to have a little bit of a party. It's Friday. I'm aware there's a lot of new names in chat right nowadays. There's a lot of new names that are starting to show up, which is fucking great, by the way. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for hitting that sub button, for being around, for becoming a member, or if you've been gifted membership, hopefully for getting involved in Discord, etc. We've got a lot of new names around, so I'm going to warn you now. Lots of talking head shows the last 2 weeks. Fridays are always a little bit different. It's a little bit of a laugh rather than very serious. We like to chill out. We need to enjoy ourselves and get ready for the weekend and get ready for some hobbying this weekend. So typically what we do is we pick a topic, sometimes often 40k related. Inevitably, as we go through the stream and however long the stream lasts for, it will not stay 40k related. We'll talk about all kinds of stupid shit and crazy stuff and etc, etc. Okay? So that's Fridays. Fridays is literally our hangout with our friends and drink stream. And so I'm going to pour myself some Vikings blood mead. My hands are very sore. We're getting there. Alex, anyway, Alex Cullen, how you doing, dude? Thank you so much for the gifted membership. You're an absolute fucking legend. What a hero. Oh, there we go. Oh, hang on. Go get that other little bit out. So thank you for the gifted membership, Mr. Alex, which means that's one tiny prick felt today. That's our membership target at least tonight. Tiny pricks felt today. Oh, hang on. Go on.
Boys are gross.
Why?
Because the boys have got chocolate around their mouth from their ice cream.
Yeah.
So I tried to whisper to them.
Thank you for the poo. Yeah.
Can you wipe your mouth? So James licks his hand.
Yeah.
And then wipes his mouth.
Okay. What's wrong with
No.
that? I don't see what the issue is.
Wipe your face.
I think that's fine. I think it's perfectly fine. Thank you, Ali Bongo, for the poos. That means we've got £1 in super chats and one member. Let's call it a night. It's done. So what we thought we'd pick tonight: things to stick on big, colourful postcards. Things to super chat in about. You're in charge of Games Workshop. You can change one thing. That's the fun topic for tonight, right? You can change one thing. What is the one thing you would change? Sun's out, guns out. It's not. It's not. I went to see my friend today. I love him dearly. I met him through the hobby. Great friend of mine. And I drive all the way to Birmingham to see him because it's actually cheaper than getting tattooed locally because of the discount he gives me. And he scratched my arm with my new pilot gunner thingy. All right. So that's what that is today. And that's why it's all covered in spunk right now because it's cream on it. Mid-tier mediocre, thank you for the gifted membership. If I could change one thing, says Rosio, about GW, I'd make them a game company first and a model company second. Interesting. Oh, put a picture of you and Luce on all promo stuff and say, it doesn't matter what you look like, Warhammer will help you pull your dream girl.
Aww.
That might have been true.
Do they know what I look like?
I think I've shown them old pictures, yeah.
Yeah, the ones before I had kids. Yeah, those ones. That little treasure trove. Don't look now.
The one thing I get rid of the whole 40k rules design team, they can't write rules unless it's approved by their competitive masters. Amazing. Oh dear. We're not hating on them, all right? We're not hating on them tonight. We just make a single rule, a single change. My single change, I put Joe in charge. Actually, no, I wouldn't do that. That'd be silly. That'd be silly. The price. There you go. Well, that is something that would change.
I'm in charge. They have to do what I say.
Oh, that's one thing you could do. Change one thing. Make me CEO. Make games again, not just recycling editions. He's shown young loose to the plebs. Sleeping loose to the thanes, though. Yeah.
Sleeping loose?
Yeah.
What?
One each night.
Have you taken a picture of me while I'm asleep?
Every night they ask for a new photograph or video
Are you
of you.
shitting me?
Yeah.
We're about to have one hell of a row then.
You should have seen the face Carl I had then. No, I've never photographed or videoed you sleeping in bed and sent it into the Thames.
They don't need to hear that kind of snoring.
What cream do you use? I had my leg tattooed yesterday, first one. So it's a convoluted this Doom Bunny, okay, as a cleaning routine. But I have Carex aloe vera gel that I mix in with water to wash it. Once I've washed it, I apply this stuff liberally, Tattoo Aftercare by Skinworks, and then once that's dried, we use Bepanthen, which is for baby bums.
Stuff.
I know you do, but it's incredible.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, ooh.
I've basically never really had an infection at all ever. I'm covered in tattoos now.
Enough stock all the time.
That's a good change. Arnold, I like that. I like these sensible changes, right? This stuff is for babies' arseholes, basically. Nappy care ointment. This is the goat. Honestly, this stuff's amazing. This is what we want.
Change one thing. Bye-bye power level points.
I'm into it. I like it. I like how some of you are 40k focus as well. Yeah, put this stuff on now. So if you see the greasiness of the arm, that's this stuff being on. What this stuff does is it essentially just creates a protective coating over it, so you're not going to get germs and shit into there. And then what you do every 4 hours, I'll then clean it again. So I'll use my Carex aloe vera antibacterial soap with lukewarm water, wash it, pat it down with tissue paper, liberally apply Skinworks. This stuff, basically, as soon as I started using this stuff, it halved my heal time, which is amazing. And then back on this stuff, and this is the most important part, I would say, out of all of it. So there you go. All right. Bepanthen is amazing. No nappy rash ever. Bepanthen is fucking incredible. I am with Luce. I hate it. It smells awful. It's sticky. It makes
we never used it for the boys. We used Johnson & Johnson had this like teal green tube of creamy magic for nappy rash. We never used Bepanthen.
No.
I hate it. How it feels on your skin. Ugh.
It's greasy, isn't it? Essentially, the best way to describe it is it's greasy. The one thing I would say about if you have this stuff and you're going to use it, because I think you've said you have this stuff. If you have this stuff, you're going to use it. What you see right here, right, is a cup that was boiling water. And what I'll do is I'll fill up the cup with boiling water and I'll just dunk this in and I'll just leave it in the boiling water for 15 seconds. That means that when you open it up and start squeezing it out, it comes out really liquidy, which makes it nice and super easy to spread over a fresh tattoo. There's nothing worse than getting cold Bepanthen out the tube when it's thick and super viscous and then pulling it across your fresh tattoo. It's fucking horrible. That hurts. So yeah, make sure you warm it up. What you can also do is you can just like put it on top of a radiator, or you can put it on top of a kettle.
I would put a lot more love and effort into Lord of the Rings.
Alex, do you know what? If they use the AOS model team to make models for Lord of the Rings, there would be man fat everywhere. I'd be so excited about that.
Rules support for the whole Chaos Demon range to be usable in HH, AOS, and 40k. Have a faction that gives flexibility to play any system.
Oh, Jacob, I love you and thank you for the 5. But I don't like demons because they're available in every system. Lukewarm or loose warm? Yeah. Then, for the first night, you already passed the first night, so you know this bit already, but I'm not going to bore you with those details, actually. I'll talk about tattoo care loads, because I'm covered now, and I have basically never really had a bad heal.
I found a holistic recipe to deal with James's nappy rash before... Because the trouble is, when you're a first-time parent and you Google things like nappy rash, at least 30 creams get thrown at you, and they all
as well
vary.
As your child's definitely going to die, like those sorts of things as well on Google.
Or it could be some tropical disease they've somehow picked up at soft play, and it's just ridiculous. So I found this holistic recipe that cured all the nappy rash literally overnight. It was amazing. Do you remember the chamomile tea thing I used to do? It was amazing.
It was good.
And because it was a wet chamomile tea booster on already sore skin, I was convinced it was going to make it worse, but it cleared it up every time. Yeah, it was
great.
I wonder if you put the chamomile tea thing on your tattoo.
No, it's different, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, well, I think it is though.
I think that'd be a great experiment to do on a fresh tattoo.
I don't think I'm going to do that, no. Hungry Bird says, after a few days of a panther, my tattoo artist recommends switching to cocoa butter. Much nicer, smells gorgeous. So as soon as it starts to peel, I switch. Immediately. As soon as it starts to peel, and you're obviously not supposed to pick it or anything, as soon as it starts to peel, I switch to cocoa butter immediately. I love cocoa butter though. I love the way it smells. I could bathe in it.
You didn't smell that until you met me.
Cocoa butter?
Yeah, it's the
Parker's.
The white.
Parker's,
I
isn't
don't
it?
know what it's called. It's just orange. It's got a white.
Yeah,
top.
I think it's Parker's. Stuff's amazing. Do you have skin left for tats? Loads. The whole chest and belly are free. That's a big space. The back is all free. Most of my legs are free. My hands haven't been touched. My neck hasn't been touched. The side of my head hasn't been touched. You know. Just experiment while he sleeps. I think if you put that on me whilst I was asleep, Josh, I would hit the fucking ceiling. If I'm being honest with you. How you all doing anyway, chat? How is life? What you got planned for the weekend? Talk to me. If I could change one thing with Games Workshop, more new models for Middle-earth, put the effort into Middle-earth, that goes into 40k. I'd love that. I wonder if they don't because of licensing issues.
Make the rules and stats completely free for all their games. Cut down on the cost to get into whatever game catches your eye. The first hit is free.
Just like crack, Brandon, right? Not that we'd know about that. But just like crack. The first hit's free. I feel like even if you don't make all of the systems free, making something free to play and easily accessible is a good move to get people into the whole company. Have you ever tried to get loose to get a couple's tat? Right, wee man. She doesn't like a needle to have a flu jab or her blood's taken. There's absolutely fucking no way she's going to voluntarily sit in a chair and let a stranger stab her with many needles that also puts ink in.
I think I'd actually have an issue with the ink being in my skin.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think I'd find it a very uncomfortable thought to be okay with.
Why? That's interesting. Why?
Because I think half of it is it's not meant to be there.
You've got dyed hair.
Yeah, but it's not in my skin.
But it's not meant to be that colour. Not meant to be there.
The dye grows out.
Okay. Interesting. Well, tattoos fade, I guess, but it's not quite the same.
Well, if my tooth hurts, I get, if it's bad enough, the dentist will just take it out. So take the bad thing out. But the tattoo, you're hurting me and it's going to stay in there.
I mean, it does. Anyone, by the way, any tough guy who goes, tattoos don't hurt, they're fucking lying. I have a relatively high pain threshold. I'm a pretty tough cookie on the whole. They do hurt. They always hurt. I have only ever done full day sessions, and I've sat there for every single full day session and had a full day session done to me. But it does hurt. It is a painful experience. But I also feel like it's like living artwork now. Tony Winnick, thank you for 5 gifted memberships. The tracker's broke again. Brilliant. So I'm going to have to do it manually, chat, all over again. The tracker's gone shit lately. I don't know why. That puts us on 7 of the finest gifteds. Thank you, Mr. Tony Winnick. You're an absolute legend for the 5 gifted. What a hero.
I've been trying to get my seconds done for ages.
That's earrings, by the way, team, if you were wondering what seconds meant.
I can't do it. I can't.
Is it because they're going to have to pierce
It's going to hurt.
Okay, is it 100% going to hurt? Absolutely.
And I know I've had 2 babies.
And you've got 2 earrings.
Well, these were done when I was 9 and I was fearless. The world hadn't touched me yet. Fearless. That hurt. I remember that pain.
I've never had the desire or inclination to have some kind of earring.
And people will say, but you've had babies. But that's a very natural pain. Getting yourself tattooed or stabbed for jewellery.
Cornet Ed says, I'd love a tattoo, but literally the only thing I fear in this world are needles. Stupid fucking phobia. I mean, it's clearly obviously needles. They're different kinds of needles though. So it's not like when you see the big one at the doctor that then goes into your skin like an inch before they go, it's not like that. It's like tiny little needles that you barely see, but it is still needles. So the likelihood is you wouldn't have a fun time.
I'm all right getting bloods taken because nurses are quite good at it. They do it all the time, so they're quite good at finding the vein and taking it. So the bloods is okay. Plus I don't really see it because a good bloods nurse is very, very quick or they're so painless that you don't feel it that makes you look down.
Oh, I used to watch them do it. It's like we used to have.
If I was in charge, I'd partner up with Lego.
I fucking love Lego. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Lego 40k. I'd be well into that. 40k rules for Lego. Amazing. When I used to get all my jabs in the army, I'd go away, I'd watch them do it. I'm fascinated by it. I love it. Love it actually is a strong word. I don't love it, but I'm fascinated by it. Ring fitting tomorrow for our custom rings. A few hours drive each way, but at least the city is nice. Order something else also, I hope. My gifting and hobby budget will be gone for a while, said Edflow. Custom rings, ring fitting for custom rings sounds lovely, mate. Don't you worry about that. Amazing. I fell asleep during my last tattoo. I've nearly fallen asleep a couple of times. Half sleeve with colours, almost cried. Colours are the worst. Tattoos do indeed hurt. Yeah, worst for me was the inner arms. They got to the armpits. Inside here is pretty shit. They're not my least favourite. Interestingly, hurts. Very sore, especially the fleshy stuff. I hated that. But my least favourite place is this part of my wrist, the bony part here. Hated that, and inside here, those two sides. And then I was reminded today how much I hate the top of the shoulder. I've got quite like bony shoulders, and when you're tattooed on the top of your shoulder, it vibrates all across your collarbone and up in your neck. It's really weird.
You're not
really
selling it. You're not selling it.
Morning Hammer, thank you for 5 gifted. You fucking legend. It worked this time, but that one didn't work. Huh? I don't understand. 10, 11, 12. That's now overcounted. Oh my God, tracker. That's where we should be. Okay, I fixed it. Right. Thank you, Mordy Amber, for the 5 gifted. You're a legend. That's 12 tiny pricks felt today. Tattoo tape wasn't too bad until I got tattooed on my neck. That shit fucking hurt. Yeah, I've heard that as well. I have a serious desire for a sleeve, but I'm terrified to pull the trigger. Christian, I wanted a sleeve forever and was terrified forever. And I finally found an artist who I knew. So in fact, Josh is my artist. I met him through 40k, funny old thing. Interestingly, not even in this country. I met him at No Retreat. The first time I went to No Retreat, I met Josh. And he was this guy who was like, he's head to toe covered in tattoos. He's like a walking fucking sticker book. And then I found out he was a tattoo artist. We were talking for 4 years before I finally went, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get the first one done.
There's a guy on Facebook that's got the whites of his eyes tattooed.
Oh, no, you won't catch me doing that. I'm not a lunatic. I don't mind needles, but coming at my eye, you can fuck off. It's the day isn't the worst. It's not great, but it's not the worst. The first 24 hours of healing afterwards are almost, in my opinion, suck worse than the actual tattoo itself, if I'm honest. The next day or two is mild discomfort. The next day or two after that, it gets a bit better. The next day or two after that, it's just a little bit sore, like bad sunburn, basically. And then after that, you look cool as fuck. That's my excuse. I love the artwork. I love the artwork, and the fact that no one else has this artwork. It's like a Mona Lisa. Like most tattoo artists won't do the same art piece twice.
Oh, okay.
Because they won't. Because they want everything to be unique, and I kind of love that. I play Lego 40k on Xbox 360. Amazing. I prefer to watch them stick me. Had to make sure they're doing it right. I mean, your medical background though, right? I had an origami dot tattoo of a Stegosaurus. It takes up my whole thigh with a single needle attached to a chopstick. That was a rough day. That's like the old-fashioned way of doing it, innit? Basically, essentially. 4 hours of leg, no breaks. I finished and thought that was bad, but the staff said back to the leg for that long you sat well. Back of the leg for that long you sat well. So, oh, that's good. Well done, mate. Gotta get on a plane, have a nice stream. Thank you for the 5 gifted, Morty Hammer. What legend. Drops 5 and still getting on a plane lit. The only problem with tattoos is not the artwork, it's the canvas goes to shit over the years. Yeah, it does, yeah. It's like this nice piece of skin and then it goes into this horrible, saggy, leathery piece of shit. At that point, I won't care. I'll be old. Don't give a shit. Surely you mean moan a limb. I don't moan, Kev. What are you talking about? It's the size of the needle, or it's not the size of the needle, even the pain. Just knowing the bastard thing is there is all it takes. Fair enough, Ed. Fair enough. You should see my leg, though. I've got a big Odin on my leg. That's my favourite one, the leg.
I'd rather have a Liam-style vasectomy than eyeball tattooed. Fuck that.
Fuck that indeed. For no eyeball tattoo, Dave. You're right. I'd rather have another.
I don't think I like a single style enough to definitely settle on it. I think I'd get into the tattoo shop, see something else, and go ooh.
Well, I think
and then
If I had fresh arms, I started all over again now, I probably wouldn't do World War sleeves. I'd do more Viking themed sleeves, like my leg. And then once I got them all done, I'd probably, if you then gave me a fresh canvas, I'd probably do something different.
Yeah, I don't think I have a single style or
thing that interests you.
Nothing interests me. What I have seen really cool.
Wife just got her seconds done and said procedure didn't hurt but aftercare is a pain in the ass. Re-GW I would swap Amazon for HBO.
Interesting. Amazon have recently launched Fallout. Has anybody watched it? What did you think? Because I'm very excited about it. Most of what I've seen so far has been positive. Go on.
There's some really cool, is it mastectomy? Yeah, mastectomy. So when you have to have your breasts taken away because you're trying to prevent breast cancer or taking away the bad thing, get it out of my body. Yeah. Some tattoo artists do these really beautiful floral tattoos. So where your nipple would be, there's like a blooming flower.
Yeah, I've seen some of those.
And they're beautiful. And then they can sort of trail it down your torso with ivy.
I've also seen some tattooists do some amazing things over scars to hide scars, which is interesting because scar tissue is actually incredibly difficult to tattoo because it doesn't react like normal skin. So there's some amazing. I've seen some amazing things that they've that people have done over the time. How's it going, Dats and Des? How are you? How are you? I'm not afraid of needles, but definitely always a tad uncomfortable since I was like 10 years old. The nursing training went oops during a vaccine and stuck it until it didn't go further. Oh dear.
Oh God.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Fallout is pretty decent so far. Good. I had a dodgy sleeve done when I was 18. I started covering it with a 7 years ago. Got back into Warhammer, never completed the cover up. Thinking artists would only black it out now. There's some cool I mean, it's a lot of pain, a lot of effort, a lot of money, but there's some cool stuff I've seen nowadays with artists that black out sleeves, let it heal, and then put colour and white over the black to create cool tattoos. Some pretty sick stuff there as well. I don't know if it's, I don't know how many of them are doing it. I don't know how that will heal. Fallout was fantastic. Fallout was pretty dope. I finished it last night. Yes, I'm excited. I'm very excited for it, actually.
Ron was on about that today.
Has he watched it?
He watched the first episode.
Yeah.
And I said to him, does it not worry you that it could be our future? And he was like, nah, why worry about it?
You see, this is why me and Bro are friends.
That is not comforting or conclusive of, meh, why worry about it? No, Brom. Do you even know me?
First episode is pretty great. A lot less worried about Amazon avoiding the more gory side, gruesome side of 40k now. That's good. Amazing. I find tattoos addictive, 100%. My tattoo artist does tattoo for free for women who had cancer. Really admire the gesture. I think a lot do, actually. 100%. I've got a massive scar down my spine. Always tempted to get a zipper on it. That'd be cool as shit, Des. Hurt like fuck, though. I'm getting a Medusa tattoo tomorrow. Well, as much of it as can be done in a day. Obviously, time restrictions are a pain. I dread to think how many days I've had in the chair with him now. Thank God he does me monumental discount. And he's fucking good as well.
Do you know what, actually? I think that might be the thing that would be the exception of marking the victory. If I was ever diagnosed with cancer, whichever body part it was in, and I beat it, I'd have to get a flower. Yeah. To be like, you fucker, I beat you.
It's interesting some people's attitudes about it as well, because some people are like, that's permanent. I'm like, yeah, I know. So,
but
like,
it's
what if you
body.
hate it? What if you hate it? So, okay, fun fact, this bit here, hate it. Hang on, this bit here.
You hate that bit?
This bit. Of all the tattoo work that he's done, it's all hyper realistic and looks like actual, because he's taken it from photographs.
Yeah.
That looks like someone's drawn it with a pencil. So I've already spoken to him. About when we get to a point where we're touching up the sleeves, how do we fix that? You know, fix it? I was like, yes, Josh, it looks fucking dog shit. I hate it. I hate that part. I like the artillery piece. I hate the smoky part out the end. How do we fix that? So he's already got that challenge. It wouldn't hurt at all as long as it's at the bottom of the scarf. Fair play. Anyway, I didn't know if I asked. I think I did ask. How many of you have got hobby stuff coming up this weekend? We have a fun and interesting team day on Sunday.
And I am part of the team, so
you
I
are
am
part
invited.
of the team, so you're coming. And me, Joe, Kyle, Paddy, Brom, we're all getting together for a day on on Sunday to hang out, play some games. I mean, I probably won't play any games, to be honest. I don't want to, but I want to hang out with the guys, do a bit of team bonding. I'm looking forward to that on Sunday. How many of you got hobby stuff you're looking forward to? If you've all, there's 154 people in chat as well, by the way, right now. 66 likes. You lazy fucks, it's free. Have you clicked it?
Just doing it now.
Even Luce doesn't bother.
I'm really looking forward to on Sunday just being around.
The guys.
Yeah.
Do you miss them being in here?
Yeah, actually I do.
Which is funny because you were like, get them out my fucking house!
Fuck off!
Every time I clean the toilet, Joe shits. Every time I hoover the carpet, Paddy walks through in his boots.
How is it dry as a bone outside and yet you've all walked through the forest floor in the hallway? How does that happen?
When we were building the studio, I think the amount of times it was like, I'm so excited to just have my house back. And it didn't take long before she was like, I kind of miss the guys being around, especially Joe. Because he is like your retarded puppy. He is. He is.
Eddie's the hyperactive one. Paddy's like the chill, busy one. Brom's Brom. Amazing. And Joe is kind of like... He very quickly fits the slot of, if you've ever had a brother, that's Joe. He's just like, I can't explain it. If you've ever had a brother, you'll know what I mean.
I've had a brother.
Yeah, all right, well, maybe you're the exception.
Joe is like your Labrador.
Yeah.
Not quite as clever as a collie. Pretty loyal.
It's just...
Chits a lot.
Joe's just like... My one memory of Joe was he got here and I had to have a quick doctor's appointment and I said, Joe, I'm so sorry to do this to you. Would you mind watching the boys? I need to go to the doctors. And he went, oh, you're not rotting from the inside out, are you? Yeah, all right, I'll watch them. Like, brotherly love there.
Yeah.
He's kind of concerned for my welfare. Doesn't want to outwardly show it.
No, absolutely. Of course.
So...
He wants you to be okay.
Yeah, he wants me to be okay because he's letting me go to the
doctor. But doesn't want to be
so
soppy equally either.
Oh, obviously not. There's no cuddles with Joe.
Yeah.
It's a fist bump from a distance.
He really wanted to, do the stream yesterday. He was incredibly sad about not doing the stream yesterday evening. Do you know why he was sad about not playing yesterday evening? Yesterday was his 2-year anniversary of being employed on the channel. 2-year anniversary.
It feels like longer. Like he's been part of the team forever.
It feels like I've had him for fucking 20 years.
He's aged you.
He's aged me. I never used to look this bad. This is Joe. Honestly. But yeah, 2 years yesterday was when he started working for us. So he was really sad. So I'm supposed to be playing Brom on Tuesday, Orcs versus Custodes. And Joe told me, like, if you want, I can play. He just wants to celebrate the fact that he's got 2 years under his belt.
Yeah, that should be celebrated.
Yeah. So, there you go. 2 years for Joe. Exclamation mark gift. That's because he's fluorescent. Who is? I have a sister. Would not recommend. Everyone is Joe's carer. That's facts, by the way. The ex-wife hasn't moved out yet, but next month I will get loads of hobbying done since I'll be all alone in the house. Yes, in the end, I found a bank that would let me keep the house. That's amazing, Frederick. Amazing. Good man. Hey Liam, work is busy, so I don't have much I can chat about right now. Just go and say hi, but I hope you like the AOS rules article. I haven't read it yet. I'll read it tomorrow, man. At some point over the next few days, I'll let you know my thoughts on those rules. Because they did one the other day as well, didn't they? About like stratagems, essentially. They're not called them stratagems. Yeah, I'm excited about those. Sounds good. But yeah, we are all Joe's carer. That's a fact.
Yeah, I do miss having them here.
2 years, can't just sack him now. He's got rights. Sean.
Don't tell him that.
Who, in their right mind, would ever want to sack Joe? Let's be honest. If I get rid of Joe, the channel just becomes flat worse. Mm-hmm. No one can argue with it, including myself. If I get rid of Joe, the channel just becomes flat worse. Why would I ever want to get rid of Joe? Also, at the moment, he thinks he's got it really fucking good, and I need none of you to tell him otherwise. He thinks he's got a sweet deal right now. None of you need to tell him otherwise, okay? We need to keep him where he is. Command abilities, which are the AOS equivalent to stratagems. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
And also what I like about Joe, he's not nice for the sake of it.
No.
So he'd eat my cookies and he'd be like, Luce, why the fuck does all of your cooking make my teeth hurt?
I mean, that was once he got comfortable, to be fair.
Joe, that's because you need to see a dentist.
He's polite for the sake of it off the bat at the start. Then when he gets comfortable, when he becomes the brother zone, that's when he's like, what the fuck is going on with these cookies?
I should have said, Joe, you're the 6th person to eat those cookies. You're the only one that says your teeth hurt. Maybe.
Yeah, well, that's
you need
because
a dentist.
he's washing down 3 cans of Monster. That's why. That's why. It's okay. The Monster isn't a problem anymore for Joe.
Do you remember when I forgot to take out the bouquet garni?
Oh my god.
And he was like, Luce, why the fuck is there a tea bag in my dinner?
I don't know if you guys know what bouquet garni is, right? Bouquet garni is essentially herbs and spices that are put into basically a tea bag, essentially. And you put it in your cooking, and you cook with this bouquet garni, and it infuses your food with these herbs and spices, and it's supposed to make them taste a bit nicer. And Luce puts them in stews and things like that.
Yeah.
And we dished him up some stew, and we forgot it was in there. And he happened to get the tea bag scooped into his bowl, which he then subsequently tried to eat. Because Joe. Fun facts. Fun facts about Joe. Anyway, chat. Like Luke, I think what should happen right now is all 154 other people, 153 actually, because you're one of the viewers, all 153 other people, apart from Luke, should get on their phones or their computers and gift 1 single membership right now. Thank you, Luke, for the gifted. You're a legend. ! Discord for the new members. Thank you so much. If you're feeling super generous, you can give 5. If all 155 of you give 5 right now, that'd be fucking incredible. Like 750 members plus. That'd be incredible. Right? Which is probably still less than the tiny pricks I felt today. If you can all do that for me right now, that'd be great. It's slow tonight, isn't it? It might be me, though. I think my energy's down tonight.
I'm so frazzled.
I'm fucked.
Today.
I'm fucking exhausted. So bad. In fact, I was so exhausted that just before the stream, Luce was like, should we do the stream? I was like, yes, we always do the stream. But the back of my mind was like, ooh.
Why have I?
That could be an option. Could be an option to just go to sleep. Might be because he's not used to chewing banana skins. Joe drinks sugar-free Monster now. He's the picture of health. Exactly, yeah. Cornet Ed, thank you for the game. Oh, fuck me. They listened. Cornet Ed, thank you for the gifted membership. You're a hero. Recap the game. Thank you for the gifted. You are also a legend. Adeptus Arbrighty 7, thank you for the gifted. You're a hero. Carl of Hodgie, what a legend. Thank you for the gifted. Sean Williams, thank you for 1 more. 40k Medic slipped. Instead of gifting 1, gifted 10 of the finest memberships. Thank you so much, 40k Medic. Ebb and Flow, thank you for 1 gifted. Christopher Sanford, thank you for 1 gifted. You beautiful humans. We jumped to 30 from 12. Frederick, thank you for the gifted. Alex, thank you for the gift. Oh, fuck me. We can just do this now for the rest of the night. Alex, thank you for the gifted. Garsty, thank you for the gift. Oh, fuck me, they're still going. Garsty, thank you for the gifted as well. Amber Swords, thank you for the gifted. Could it be? Could all 152 people do it for a change? Nope, we're done. We stopped. We're done. We peaked. My uncle makes great curries, but used to leave whole cardamom pods in them. I told him the trick of using a needle and thread to make them easy to take out.
That's a good idea.
Thank you for the content. Oh, recap. Thank you so much for the kind words. What legend. Did you gift a member? You gifted a member, you're not even a member yourself, dude. What a legend. Thank you so much.
We were in a submarine today.
Hungry Bird, thank you for the gifted. You were. I was a little bit jealous, actually.
Really? You said you didn't want to come.
Wow. So it's only because I'd already booked the session to get tattooed. Mm-hmm. I'd already booked it, and I know how, I can't get another appointment with him now until after July. August is the earliest. And I think the days that he's got available in August also don't work because of streams. Mm-hmm. So I don't think I can even do August. So I was like, I can cancel, but then I won't get another session in probably till late in the year. So if you remember, I thought about it for a while before I finally was like, no, I'm going to keep my appointment. And then today, I was a little bit jealous because I've never been on a submarine. I said to James this morning, I was like, you're going to do something I've never done today. You're going to go sit inside a submarine.
It's amazing. I'm blown away by how many people would have worked in that tiny space.
Who's still going? How many people would have worked in that tiny space? Did it tell you?
In one room that was probably smaller than our lounge, there was 8 beds, a mess table area, and I think they would have hot-bedded as well.
Oh, wow.
There, and the kitchen, the chef that would be on board, the kitchen is probably the size of... Bloody hell, it was tiny, maybe like half the size of our bathroom.
Which bathroom?
Our bathroom.
Oh, really?
It was absolutely tiny, and I just sort of looked at it and I thought, if I just counted the beds on board, there'd be at least
Just like
20 people.
Like double the size of a service's toilet cubicle.
Yeah, it was tiny. And to knock out the food for, if I just counted the beds for 20 people, most likely be hot bedding.
Garsy said yes. A lot of semen in those subs.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
The toilets were, you had to step up onto the toilet.
All right. Why?
I do, because they're everywhere. There's pipes everywhere. There's electrical wires, pipes, dials.
So there is a little part of me that was glad I didn't go because of my mild claustrophobia.
Yeah, it was it got very warm in there very quickly.
I don't have many fears or anything, but I don't like being in confined spaces.
It was amazing.
We went, what was it? I think, is it caving? It's called that? Was in the army? Fucking hated it.
Oh, well, good luck you. We've got a cave field trip coming up.
You've got a cave field trip coming up.
Yeah, all right. You can stay outside. I'll go in the caves.
Thank you so much. Ranulph for the 1 gifted. Michael for 1 more. Skippy for 1 more membership. Great Mafia for another 1. Lone Monkey Productions for another 1. And Robert J. Shepherd for 5 gifted members. What a fucking legend. Up to 44 of the finest tiny pricks. Hero, thank you so much. Hot bedding or hot racking or whatever you call it is the worst sounding name it could have. I've never had to do it.
Apparently, scabies can quite easily go on the rise in submarines, which is why they're so meticulous about changing the bedding. But I couldn't get into a bed that's already warm and not from my body heat. You know, if you need a wee in the middle of the night and you get back in and you're like, oh, it's still warm.
Yeah.
But that's your body heat.
It's your warmth.
But if I got into a bed that was warm from someone else, that would disturb me.
Yeah.
That would be the bad thing needs to leave.
I think.
I can't sleep here.
Do you know what? I think Harborn, thank you for the gifted membership. Come on, chat. Come on, boys. I think the thing for me, if I'm honest with you, the biggest thing for me is smells. Right. So it sounds really weird. I think for me to relax properly, somewhere has to smell either familiar or nice. Right. Mm-hmm. And so like I'm a sucker for things like scented candles and stuff. I like them. And when we get into bed, it smells like our washing powder, or it smells like your shampoo or whatever. So it's familiar and it's a nice smell. If it smelled like someone else's deodorant, that'd be bad enough. But if it just flat smelt like someone else who I didn't know, I'd be like, no, I can't relax. I'm not trying to be funny. I reckon I'd struggle to relax. Imagine if you were hotbedding with a person who was, for example, a smoker.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to sleep.
One of my overriding thoughts on the biggest room that I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 beds in. It's a submarine. There are no windows. Yeah. And if somebody farts, you're all breathing that in for several hours.
Carl says, did you ever do the helicopter dunker drill? I hated it. Small box dropped into the water and then into the dark. No, I didn't. Carl, I flat refused. I flat refused to do dunker training, and my squadron said to me, well then how on earth are we going to deploy you on board ship? You have to do dunker training so that we can fly you out to a ship so we can deploy you on board ship. And I said, good fucking job I joined the army, not the navy. Flat refused.
Are you allowed to refuse?
No, God, no. But I was getting very close to leaving. In fact, I think I might have already signed off at that point, so they weren't going to force me. I suspect they don't tend to smoke on submarines. I don't know, maybe. Cold solid pillow is the best. Cold solid pillow is the best, 100%. But yeah, no dunker. I did sea survival, which was bad enough. I hated sea survival. Jump off a fucking diving board in full gear, go into under a full-size life raft and flip it over onto your head so you can get it the right way. Oh, I hated it. Fucking hated it. Could see it now, Liam in a sub lighting a second candle. Also doubt they would be smoking too much at that point. Well, you know. What I'm saying, chat, is all your pedanticisms that's going on is someone could fucking stink and you have to share a bed with that horrible fucker.
Do you know what was really cute today? James was like, Mum, come and look at the toilets. Because I thought, I've seen how small the kitchen is. There's no way there's a family bathroom in here. No way. So I stuck my head in one. And then I was thinking, traditionally it would have been men that were in submarines, not women. Would you say that's right, traditionally?
It would likely be a full male crew.
So then he was like, oh, there's a shower in this one. And I went, what? He was like, yeah, there's a shower in this one. And I thought, I'm sure we just heard the man say that they didn't wash every day because they didn't have enough fresh water for everyone to be able to wash and cook and at least wash their hands. So I'm not sure it is a shower. Had a look in, and I was like, James, where's this shower? And he pointed to a silver 3-walled dent in the wall and then a panel that he thought was the door. No, that's a urinal. That's the urinal, Jim Jam.
Oh.
That's not the shower. I'm not sure how thin these full-grown men need to be to fit in there and have a shower.
Well, they don't see sunlight, so...
They have to be like, turn sideways, they disappear.
But the sizes are different for him, obviously, because he's only 11, so he's still quite small, I guess.
But you know when you figure out that your kids hang around with mum all the time because the urinals, they're like, what's that? That's a urinal.
I believe US Navy has co-ed submarines now, is it? There's going to be some fucking spunk bubbles walking around, isn't there?
I'm not sure who you're insulting there. That women have more between their ears than to sleep with everyone on board, or that the men can't seem to contain themselves.
I've been in the forces. If you have co-ed submarines, some of them are literally walking around like snails.
So some is not all of them.
Most.
Some.
Again, I've been in the forces.
Yes, you've been in the army, not the navy.
There will be people cutting around that submarine like snails. That's just a fact.
Some is not all.
The urinal on a herd is just in the open at the front, just pissed in front of everyone watching. Right. Last time. What time did we start? 1:45. We've got 45 minutes left if I'm going to do a 4 hour and a half.
And three or four of the kids in our little group reenacted the submarine being under attack and sadly drowning, killing everyone on board. That was much fun for every paying customer to witness.
Quite realistic too. Quite realistic, yeah.
That's when you go, well done. We can wrap it up now. Stop now. You're scaring the elderly. Stop now.
Did you tell people that this is not what a rich person's submarine looks like?
No.
That one's down by the Titanic. Poor innocent Luce. Yeah, I know, bad luck, and exactly. Poor innocent Luce.
You have female friends in the army who do not do that behaviour.
Coordinate Ed. From my experience going on courses with the Navy CCF, Liam is not wrong.
Oh my god. Some is not all though, is it?
Big wobbly spunk bombs. Straight facts, chat. If I was the only man in a unit and all the women snaked me, it'd be worn out, the poor thing.
Well then say no, Carl. My god.
Poor old Luce trying to defend womankind out here.
Yeah. You have friends who were in the army who were women who did not sleep with everyone.
I'm getting a glare right now.
Please stop tarring everyone with the same brush.
The problem is, when the majority behave that way, that's where the tarring happens.
But your majority, the amount of women that you knew who didn't sleep with everyone outweighed the women that did sleep with everyone, so that you're tarring wrong.
Not 100%. Like 90%, maybe 95% of that way.
95 is not all.
I was in the army for 10 years. Me too, Mad Larkin. Me too. Me too. Thanks for sticking up for me, chat. You people are amazing. You people are amazing. If you were in charge of Games Workshop and you could change one thing, Luce, what would it be?
Pay the staff properly.
What would you call properly?
Fair living wage. Games Workshop, is not a skint company.
Do you base that? Okay. Do you base fair living wage based on minimum wage or a whole different kind of metric?
Minimum wage is not a fair living wage.
I agree. That's why I was asking. But the government would suggest that minimum wage is what is a fair living wage because it's what you need to live.
The government probably don't know how much a pint of milk is, so.
I would argue that Richard Sunak's got no fucking idea what minimum living wage or standard living wage is when he earns fucking $3 million a year, whatever the hell it was. I would agree with you. It's an interesting concept, isn't it? Because I think that as a singular change, if you change the wages for everybody, arguably you end up with happier staff.
Yeah.
Potentially more engaged staff. But I if that's a problem for GW. I don't want to talk about this too much because interestingly, this was a topic that Peachy picked up with on his interview. So I don't want to talk about something that I've already talked about. Okay. Because I want that to be exciting when the interview comes out about staff wages at GW.
It's good that you're not hinting to it. Go on.
Well, I don't want to talk about the actual thing that he talked about, but it's an interesting concept that I've said it before. I've said this to you before stream actually. I've said this forever. Look after staff. Staff look after your business. And I think that in itself is. So someone said it. This isn't the first person who said this. Give the artist credit in the books and boxes. Artists and sculptors, I think, don't get enough credit from GW themselves as well.
They don't currently get credit.
Sometimes they get no credit. Sometimes they get minimal credit. So like there could be like a new model can go up, right? So let's say let's say this one here because it's on my desk, right? So this model can go up for pre-order. Sometimes you might see on Instagram Daz Latham posts was fun to be part of the team that brought this to life. But GW don't do that. Rarely they might put out a Walker mark or something in White Dwarf that talks about Daz sculpted this model, but it's not common. If you think about the amount of things that those designers are involved in, because they don't have like 100,000 designers, but they do have like thousands of models. So if you think about it, if they've got say, I don't know, 20 designers and 100 models, then every designer has designed at least 2 models, no, at least 5 models to get to 100.
What would be the reason for not giving credit?
I don't know. But it's the same as when GW talk about, if they were to talk about me in a Walker article, they'd say Liam Dempsey. If they were to talk about you in a Walker article and you were GW staff, they would say Lucy. They don't use your surname. They don't want your full name getting too well known. I think there's reasons. Some of this talked about on the Peachy podcast. I think there's a reason why they don't give credit, and I don't like it. I think it's wrong.
What's the reason for not giving? So they retain the staff?
I think some of it's to do with that,
like
actually.
Career blocking?
I think it's about it's about keeping their talent in house and not letting other people know.
Oh my god, my cigarette smells back now.
And not letting people not letting people know about others, or like not letting other businesses know about these particular names or whatever it is, like those sorts of things. Like if no one knows that you're the person that's done that, I don't know which other company is going to poach them anyway, because I don't think any other company is big enough right now. But I often feel like, back to your point, I often feel like it possibly wouldn't be too difficult to pull a person away from GW if you had a concept. Yeah. If you had a concept or an idea in the same design space as 40k, and you went to a person, you went, I know you're one of their main designers because you get credited a lot. I also know that you don't get paid very well. This is my concept, and this is all the backing I've got as well, and this is where we're going to go with it. Possibly you better pull some people away. So it might be why they don't do some of the...
Wouldn't it be interesting to be able to negotiate in your contract, I am to be credited with designs that I have designed. You can't redact my last name. I need to be credited.
But it's even like... It's a battle tome, right? Because to hand, I've got codexes down here as well, right? If you open up the battle tomes as well, though, let's go to... let's pick an image. Let's pick this one here, right? Let's pick this page, okay? So on this page, we've got some dragons. Up here, we've got a scene that's laid out down here. Okay? We talk about some of this again from the Peachy podcast. It's quite interesting. I would like to see a little note. Dragons painted by... You know, like if you illustration, like if you get a storybook for the kids, illustrations by they credit the artist.
Because so if a model's designed
Yeah.
plus the painting scheme, but someone else paints it, well, you've kind of just done your job. You haven't designed it, you've just painted it.
But it's still artistic. Painting is still artistic.
Yeah, but if you're a painter, that's your job. You haven't designed the model.
Yeah, but
you've just
right. But would you? So would you?
followed instructions.
But would you stop? Would you stop crediting illustrators on books?
No,
They've
because
just done their job though.
But they've designed the character uniquely for that book.
But the painters designed the paint scheme and made the paint scheme and made it work and brought it to life. It's still artwork.
Well, if that's what the painter's done, then yes, credit. But if the painter's just followed the instruction of this wing is red,
no.
that is blue.
They're not. So, but even if the instruction is that wing is red, they don't know how to get it to the point where like they've got to work out what's my base color, what's my shade color, what's my first layer color, what's my first highlight color, what's my second highlight color. Often, if it's heavy metal teams that are painting for codexes, etc., they actually have, instead of like 7 or 8 layers, they'll have about 15 layers to get the red to where they want it to look like for box art or for pictures in codexes, and they spend a lot of time painting. Again, discussed in the Peachy podcast. This is exciting, actually. A lot of what we're talking about now comes up. So in that regard, they'll be told well, the dragon should be red, maybe, but they won't be told how to paint that red. They have to come up with that.
Then yeah, credit that. But if I designed a model and I said I just simply don't have time to paint it, so I'm going to ask you to paint it. This is the color scheme. This is what I want, where I want it. I don't know if I'd support someone crediting that, because if your job is a painter and people already know you're on the painting team, do you need the credit? You've already got the job. But a designer who's designed that model from drawing on the page to it getting off the factory floor and then not credited.
But could you not argue that I find this is an interesting conversation, genuinely. Could you not argue, though, that the designer is just doing their job? Their job is designing models.
Uniquely.
But still, but in terms of your brief as to why the painter might not get credit, management comes to designer, Lucy, I want you to design a dragon. Mm-hmm. So you design a dragon. You've just done your job.
Yes, credit me. You've just come to me. So,
but you've just done your job.
Yeah, but you've come to me.
But you've just
I'm not
all
on
right.
staff.
So now you can't be bothered to paint it, or you haven't got time to paint it. So you come to Liam and go, "I need you to paint this dragon. It needs to be red, right? And you need to use these colours." It's no different to me coming to you and saying, "I need you to make a dragon."
I feel like the credit's slightly different. One of us literally invented it. One of us is just following instruction.
I think that's an interesting differentiation, actually.
Levels of crediting, I think, might need.
No, don't get me wrong.
Observing.
I don't feel like you should get to a codex and have 27 fucking lists of credited names. Like,
Maybe that's why they don't then.
but then,
Maybe
but
there's
then
just too
saying
many
that,
people
but
in
then
it.
saying that, what happens at the end of a film?
Maybe they should do that. Last page in the book. Credit everyone.
Potentially, a whole page of credits is fair. Like, I feel like that's reasonable.
Yeah, that'd
like,
be good.
Painter Lucy, images on pages 2, 7, 8, like 100%.
Okay,
absolutely, 100%. We could do that
That sounds nice.
rather than on each page.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Often,
So every job interview, I take in my little book trolley. All of these books, my name is in there somewhere.
But then saying that's also genuinely reasonable. Like the idea of I now have an open portfolio that I can show you of my work, because it literally says I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. But at the moment they don't really credit their staff at all, really. I think they're very bad at crediting their staff. They're a giant corporate machine, and then they're like, Games Workshop has produced these brand new models. We won't tell you who designed it, who wrote the rules for it, who. They're starting to do a little bit more of late, so there's a little bit more in terms of an article comes out where Daz was involved in designing the new avatar of Kane for the Eldar, or let's talk to rules writer Matt from the AOS team. They're starting to do that now, and they're doing it more. Right, here's the other thing. Right, they're doing it more now, I think, with the rules writers than most other departments. There's a little cynical part of me that's like, I tell you what we're going to do. Right, is on the lead up to this brand new edition. We're going to constantly come back to Senior Rules Writer Liam, say, Senior Rules Writer Liam, why did you do this? Senior Rules Writer Liam, why did you do that? Senior Rules Writer Liam, how come that? Right, do that all the way through the launch articles, which is what they're currently doing, Phage Sigma, right? There's little quotes from the rules writers. So then, edition launches, everyone loves it, cool, good. Everyone hates it. Senior Rules Writer Liam, why does everyone hate it? We've clearly made sure everyone knows it's you that's made these rules. It almost feels like there's a potential setup there for a buck pass rather than actually it being genuine credit. I don't know if that's just me being cynical, But why have they suddenly started bringing in loads of accreditation for rules writers specifically, when recently, actually, they've probably had a lot of criticism about their rules specifically.
Yeah.
They don't typically get, every now and again, they get critiqued about their models. Very rarely. It does happen. There's a new Custodies character coming out, which so far, the photographic team have not done a good job of photographing it, so it looks fucking awful. I suspect that when we have it in hand and we can look at it from an angle that's not like that, and we can look at it from an angle like, oh, actually, it makes sense. It's in scale. The photographing team haven't done a good job. The model's been taking the piss out of all over social media. There was a Space Marine launch over the beginning of this year, end of last year. The beginning of last year or the end of the year before, of the T-shirt, those Desolation Marines, you guys remember, which they got fucking flat ridicule for that model design. But it's rare. 99% of the time, people go, those models are beautiful. Painting, almost no one ever really criticises. There was a period of time where Forge World models were considered to be not painted as well as normal Games Workshop models on the 40k website or the AOS website, and people would take the piss. But on the whole, people don't typically criticise the paint jobs of the stuff that Games Workshop produces. They go, they're really pretty. It's really, really good. The thing that gets criticised the most for GW out of everything, I suspect, is probably the rules. There is some slight caveats. Stock has been an issue lately, people complaining about quite a lot. Availability, limited edition codexes in box sets. There's lots of complaints around those sorts of things. But I think the thing that's probably criticised the most from GW is the rules. And yet recently, they've decided to talk to the rules writers by name quite a lot in the articles. So the cynic in me goes, why are you doing that? Literally the most criticised thing that you have. Now you're putting people's names on the website.
And there is that saying, hear hooves, think horses.
Because of like, if everyone was nothing but positive about these rules, would we be talking about the rules right? He's all right.
No, this is getting really old now.
The sigh.
I had to have like a mum moment with him.
Okay.
In one of the bus stations, and it was quite funny because he was rude to me, and then I said something like, I'm gonna need an apology for that, Ben, because that wasn't very nice. And then he sat down and he went, no. And I said, do I need to stand here all day until we get an apology? I don't know why I say these things, because I want to get home. I'm tired and I need the toilet, so I need him to apologise right now so I can keep the day going. And then he sort of nods, yes, you need to stand here all day. You motherfucker.
You know he'll stand there.
So no, I was one that said, I will stand here all day until I get an apology. And then there was 3 men on their phones, and they all looked at Ben like, oh, you want to apologise to your mum? And all the women did the eyebrows, but stayed looking down at their phones like, don't you sass your mum. And it was one of those moments of, thank you, grown-ups of the world unite. I have a team. You need to apologise. Just say sorry, and then we can put this whole thing behind us.
For reference, chat, right? What he was doing just then is our kids have a little iPad. They've had a long, hard day today, so they've got some time on their iPads this evening, right? And their iPads have limited space because we bought basically the 2 cheapest iPads we could buy, because guess what? Things are fucking expensive. So they have limited space. Now, what we're trying to teach them is about managing that space and not having everything all the time. So if they download, say, 10 apps, that's likely that their space is then full at that point, right? Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if they want app number 11, they can't get app number 11 without deleting one of the 10 apps they currently have. Sometimes, if app number 11 is a specifically big app, they'd have to maybe delete 2 previous apps. So the good thing there is we're going, do you really want to make this change? And they would keep making the change. And the reason why they keep making the change is they come and ask us, yeah, I'm happy to delete that app. And then they come back an hour later and they change their mind. So what Luce has put in place is they have a download day, right? So the first of their days off of the month is a download day. And that is the one day they're allowed to make a change. Delete an old app and download a new one.
Mm-hmm. It got ridiculous.
Yeah, because it makes them go, do you really want to get rid of Mario off your iPad today? Because if you get rid of it today, tomorrow's not a download day and you won't get another one until next month. So because you won't get another one until next month, that means that you're going to have to do without that app for the month. Mm-hmm. So know what happens every now and again is he comes in with his little iPad. Normally, back side out, screen side in, especially if Luce is in here, and he'll do that round Luce. Because he knows what she's going to do. He knows she's going to be like, no, fuck off. And he'll come to me and he'll be like... And And I have to be like, is it download day? I think yes. It's not, is it? It's on the calendar. Does the calendar say it's download day? No. Accurate, right?
Accurate.
Off you fuck then. Off you fuck. That's how that works.
Yeah. I was just very impressed how all the men in the room were like, oh, and all the women were, don't you sass your mum. Thank you, grown-ups. I really needed the strength in numbers today. It's been a long day.
Apparently, I don't know if this is fact or not, but this is interesting if it is fact. GW PLC is a bigger company than ITV. They need to start acting like it and stop pretending they are a small company. True. JT Mason says, am I the only one who loves parenting and 40k chat together? We all do. I think all of us that are parents as well. Yeah, we do. There's 2 people, by the way, chat. 2 people that are grey names. The gifting the super chat has just stopped dead. What do I have to do? Show you some nipple?
No boobs on stream. No. Babe, no.
No?
No.
Bit nipple?
No. Have some standards.
Yeah, absolute look of disgust from Luce right now. Crichton, we had our Mega Drive. We had 3 games and swapped with mates. Well, the thing is, Dave, so I mean, I started off with a Commodore 64 and a ZX Spectrum.
It's just not the world we're in anymore. I would love to be in that world still because...
Yeah, but this is the thing. This is what I was getting at, right? I then had a Nintendo, a standing Nintendo, then I had a PlayStation 1. None of which were connected to the internet.
No.
None of which you could just download a game. None of which had free games. You had to buy the fucking things.
Yeah.
So you couldn't every day decide you wanted something different, go to an app store and download a free app and then play it. You couldn't do that. It was impossible. What kids have got at the moment, they've got too much freedom of choice, and they've got so much freedom of choice, which is inevitably too much for actually children of that age who don't know how to regulate that kind of choice, you know.
Yeah.
So if I wanted a new game for the Nintendo, it would have been not cheap, almost guaranteed, and I'd have to save money to go and buy it, not just go App Store, download. But that's why their App Store's passworded, to be honest with you. What is this, Twitch?
Yeah, exactly.
Just a tip. Just a tip, slowly. Just a tip.
No.
Parents have to be IT and content managers now, 100%. Oh my God, it's terrifying nowadays. It's terrifying.
We've got a friend in our home ed group who's one of the kids, and I'm so grateful for him. The amount of times and kids eavesdrop. It's, you know, to a point it's fine. If you don't want them to hear it, have the conversation somewhere else in private. And I was chatting to another parent, and I was like, I don't know how to stop this thing. Ben somehow was able to speak to a stranger online, and the parental locks are on. I don't understand how it's happened. And this one kid put his hand up. He's never been to school, so he put his hand up, and I was like, yes. And he said he needs a junior profile, and I went, sorry. And he was like, I heard you a moment ago. Ben needs a junior profile. The profile he's got can still access the wider world, and that's why, despite the parental locks, he can still do it. So I went, right, next week I'm going to bring his iPad in. Can you talk me through it? Because I've got no idea how I find that. And he was like, yeah, sure. Can you buy me a Coke? Yeah, I'll buy you a Coke if you teach me how to do this thing. I'm so grateful. And it's a shame that, thank God, there are really good kids in the world who, despite knowing their way around the internet quicker than their parents know their way around the internet, they're still making good choices.
Yeah.
And they have a good moral compass. I was so grateful for him.
Well, I mean, it's specifically for Ben, though, because our eldest, who's 11, has a moral compass. He's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Has a moral compass. And he'll see something and be like, not happy with this, I'm going to go show it to mum straight away. Like, he's very, very good. He wasn't, and we had to work to get there. But now I trust him.
Yeah.
I trust him with full everything because he's so very good with it at the moment. I don't let them use iPads anymore. I've taught them both to play Blood Bowl, but that should be cheaper, right?
Probably.
Maybe eventually. When my nieces and nephews come over, they know there is no video games. It's family time. It's nice, that. Kids not allowed Coke, and Luce is like, here you go, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll buy him a Coke.
She's giving him a taste of his first Coke. What you don't realise, chat, is she's from Coventry. She's not talking about the drink.
Yes, I am.
I love that my daughter can't brush her own teeth, but figured out how to navigate out of the child locks on my tablet.
It's insane, isn't it? It is actually insane. I might
It's
buy
true, though.
I might buy a DVD player for Ben and be like, right, Ben, if you can fix this, the next time Pappy calls Dad because the Sky Glass isn't working, I'm going to put you on the phone.
He worked out that if he grabbed my phone, he could just hold it to my face and then it would unlock.
Yeah.
Bastard.
But it doesn't work if you're asleep.
It doesn't work if you're asleep.
I've seen that on Facebook. Kids like hitting their parents' face with the phones, like, why isn't this working?
Why aren't you working, phone? Oh my lord, I am literally exhausted right now.
Yeah.
You look tired too.
I witnessed a customer having a go at the coach driver today
All right.
because of the luggage. So
Oh.
he had his receipt. He was getting the coach to Heathrow. And I don't know if the coach was a replacement service and their original luggage was okay. I'm not sure. But the driver said, this ticket allows you 1 large bag each or 2 mediums, and you have 2 large and 1 medium, so you need to pay for your medium. And this guy was being really rude and saying something along the lines of, if I can't get on this coach, there'll be trouble. And I felt like going,
Oh really?
because you can't follow simple fucking instruction, the same receipt everyone else has got and has adhered to those rules, but you are the exception because you're that fucking special on a Friday. You're making everyone late. This coach is to Heathrow. Anyone who has a connecting coach or flight is now late because you can't follow fucking instruction.
Baggage is
Piss
one of those.
off.
Baggage is one of those things that will trigger me at an airport all the time. All the time.
But threatening the coach driver,
Oh, I know.
What is that going to get you? It's not. He doesn't make the baggage rules. He just follows them.
JT, can you type !snipe me? Because if I ask for members again, it's weird. But if you put !snipe me, they can all try and get you a green membership. If you could make sure you haven't got gifts turned on though for at least the first half an hour, that'd be great. Baggage is one of those things that triggers me at airports immediately, every time. Every fucking time. And part of the biggest issue is a lot of airlines now will say your carry-on luggage is free, and if you want hold luggage, you have to pay for it. Then they give you these dimensions for carry-on luggage, and everyone makes sure that to the millimeter they're filling those dimensions. And I've actually seen people go up to the little. There's like you haven't been to airports, but there's like little like metal like frames. They're like, if your bag fits in here, then it's legal for the plane, or it's not legal, but you know
okay.
it fits the rules. And you'll see people stuffing them in these little. It fits. Like,
No, it doesn't.
at what cost? At what cost does it fit right? And then what happens is, oh fuck me, JT, you didn't turn off your gifted, did ya? Ah. Fuck's sake.
Can't teach them all, babe.
Now 40k minutes is gifted you one straight away and we're stuck at 50 again. And 30 quid in super chats tonight, chat. Come on. It's only midway through the month. We've got another half a month to go yet. So, once they've stuffed this fucking thing, and then you watch them pulling it out and they can't get it out because they've got it stuck in the cage, right? Then they'll all hobble off to the fucking to the boarding, and inevitably you get to the boarding lounge, right? And then you'll get this tannoy. Just to let everybody on the flight know, we don't actually have enough room for baggage in the overhead lockers.
So where that problem is then, the person at the kiosk doing the measuring should have said, sir, that bag clearly doesn't fit.
But still,
You're having to shove it in. It
at
doesn't fit.
At this point, the staff don't know the sizes of the bags. They just know that if there's a 500-person flight and they've got 500 people on the flight, and every single one of those 500 people on the flight has also bought their own overhead luggage, they already know without knowing the sizes they don't have enough space in the overhead lockers. Because there isn't enough space in overhead lockers on a full flight for everyone to take a single bag. There just isn't.
See,
it's always been a thing.
These rants that don't make me want to fly.
It's always been a thing. We don't have enough room. We don't have enough room on the overhead lockers. So when you approach to board, if you could speak to a member of staff, we'll happily take your hand luggage and put it in the hold free of charge. Because they would normally have charged you when you bought your ticket to have a hold bag. Now, most people that have hand luggage as well don't have things in there they want slinging in the fucking hold. They might have laptops or iPads
Goldfish bowl.
or glasses or explosives, something like that. They don't want in the hold. They want on the hand luggage with them. So then what you do is what you see is everybody who's got their bag, every single person who's got their whole bag. So if you would like to see a member of staff, we'll check it in. You see them like this. Like, not this fucking call sign. I'm keeping mine. Right? It fucking grips me. And then, inevitably what happens is, the airline is not quite forceful enough. They're just not. So everyone goes, no, I'm keeping my bag. I'm not putting mine in the hold. I've got a laptop in it. So's every other cunt on the plane. It's an 11-hour flight, right? So then what happens is everyone gets on the plane, and then, you know that stuffing that we said happens in the cage? It was a good job they did that, because that's what happens in the overhead locker.
Punching it in.
Fucking stuffing this thing, and I'm like, so you didn't want it in a hold because it's got a laptop in it, but you're happy to basically crush it into the corner of the overhead locker. And then normally what happens is the last people that get on the plane, and this is where I get really fucking annoyed, because if I'm not boarding in an early group, I'm almost always one of the last people that gets on the plane, because when they call people forward, everybody in group 3+ now, they go, oh, well, we're going to board you by group numbers, right? You'll have like group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on your ticket. Okay, we're going to board you by group numbers so that we have a nice steady flow of people getting onto the plane and taking their seats. Group 1, can you step forward and board? And group 1 will step forward and they'll get their ticket scanned and blah, blah, and they'll go on, get on the plane. And then normally people forward.
First month I made myself a member.
Amazing, Arnold. Thank you so much. What a legend. We're up to 50 members, chat, on stream. I could do with 50 more, to be honest with you, after today. And we're quite far behind on Super Chat goal. Go for it. Talk to me about your airport issues as well. So group 1 will get on the plane, and then they'll go, group 2, can you come forward to board the plane? Group 2 comes forward. The other funny thing about when group 1 and 2 come forward is almost every single fucking time, without doubt, some fat cunt who's in group 6, some lady normally with about 3 bags under her arms, will go, can I get on now? No, it says 6, you clown. Sit down.
6, you clown.
It says 6. Fuck off. Does it look like a 1? Does it look like a 1? Right? So, and all the time that happens, and people will say, meh, they start like edging forward. Meh. You're like, where are you going? They've asked for group 1 and group 2. Yours says group 5. Meh, meh. They all start slowly moving forward. But then, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Like, you're not even in the next group or the next 3 groups. Sit the fuck down and wait, and stop getting in everybody else's way. But then what happens is, and I'm sat there going, I'm in group 5. I don't know what. I'm just going to sit here comfortably. And then they go, after group 2, they go, can groups 3 to 6 now board the... What's the fucking point in having 6 groups? If you're grouping the last lot together in one fucking group, it might as well be group 1, 2, 3. So at least when you call group 2 up, I'm like, I'm next. I know I'm next now. I know I'm next because I'm group 3. So then by the time the fucking groups 3 to 6 get on the plane, right? If you're near the front of the plane in your poor man's seat, you're like, overhead locker full, overhead locker full. That's a full fucking size suitcase. There's a full-size suitcase in there. That one's full. That one's full. And stewardess, someone speaks to stewardess, like, they're all full. She's like, yeah. So she takes your bag off you with your iPad and your laptop and your headphones, and she fucks off down the other end of the plane and sticks it in a different overhead locker.
Why can't you have it by your feet?
No, you can't do that.
Why?
Safety, innit?
Oh, okay. I suppose so. If people are
What?
walking.
What kind of safety?
Well, if people are walking up and down to
If
get
it's
to
between
the toilet.
if it's between your feet, loose. It's not in the aisle.
Maybe someone somewhere had something like a tin of deodorant,
Do you know why you can't have it on the
roll
floor?
out
Do you
and
know-
trip over a stewardess,
The reason why
and
you
somebody's
can't.
martini went flying.
The reason why you can't have it on the floor is very simple. They put the life jackets underneath your seats. Now, I'm going to be honest, Lise. 9 times out of 10, if that plane's hitting water, it doesn't matter if I've got a life jacket on. I'd actually rather just have my iPad, to be honest.
Well,
Yeah.
you go to get on the fun slide if the
On the
plane's
fun
in the
slide?
water. On the fun slide.
It's so fucking annoying. And then one of my biggest bugbear. And the thing is, if they walk down the other end of the plane to put it on the overhead locker, I'm like, well, logically speaking, hear me out. If we move everyone's bag down a space, then eventually the space will appear above my chair.
What's to stop you lifting up the overhead locker and going, well, I'm sitting underneath this overhead locker, so I'm going to take this bag out, put my bag in and go, miss, sorry, there's no room for this bag, and then that bag gets fucked off down the other end of the
I mean,
plane because
you
you're the
absolutely
one
could.
sitting
You absolutely
underneath
could.
that overhead locker.
The one that bugs me the most as well, though, because overhead lockers like this weird shape. So if you've got a bag, when I go on planes, my bag is like this, like a normal backpack kind of bag, right? Because it's material. You can mold it to shapes. So when there's a little gap in the overhead locker, what I'll do is I'll take my laptop out and I'll put it in the seat slip in front of me, so it's safe and out of the way, which means when I start folding my bag into weird shapes to stuff it in, I'm not damaging anything electrical. It's got normally like a spare pair of pants and socks in it in case they lose my suitcase, which airports are known to do. Some other bits and bobs, a charger, that kind of stuff, right? They get, and I might make mine so my bag can go boom, because I'm like, I'll stuff it in a hole somewhere, I don't care, get it out of the way. What really irritates me then is when you're in that plane and you've heard them asking other people to check their bags into hold luggage, and you open that locker and you do literally see a mini suitcase, and you're like, you fucking asshole.
So just take it out next time. Right, I'm so sorry to bother you.
Open the window.
There's no room
fucking
for this
throw it
bag.
out the door.
And word it in a way that it sounds like it's your bag, so they're happy to take it off you, but then it's still going on the plane.
Last flight I had, they just flat forgot our group. They started saying, last call, we are closing, and a dozen people just panic rushed the desk. Amazing. Amazing. Oh, honestly. It irritates. Well, how do we get started on that topic? I don't remember how we got started on that topic.
Because the guy was shouting at the coach driver.
Oh, yeah. Because his baggage was wrong.
The coach driver said, I have to charge you the extra luggage to get it on the coach. And then the guy was like, well, it's okay for a plane. And the coach driver, I loved him for this. The coach driver stood to the side and sort of gestured his hand at the luggage hold of the coach and went, this is not a plane. It's a coach. You need to pay for your bag. And then
the lack of wings should have given it away.
And then the guy was like, are you going to wait for me while I pay for my bag? And then the driver went, yeah, I'll wait. Well, if you don't wait, there'll be trouble. And I thought if Leon was here, he'd be like, right, dickhead. It's not his fault. You're a knob that can't follow instructions.
You make me out to be someone really abrasive character sometimes.
You are quite abrasive.
It's not true. It's not true. What I've seen is families putting a ton of stuff on their kids because they don't get removed. Only one carry-on for adults. Then there's kids looking like beasts of burden, like all the clothes on, waddling on.
The Michelin Man.
Yeah. People annoy me. People the worst. This is why I love you lot. This is why I love our little crazy community of lunatics and weirdos. Because people outside of our little crazy community of lunatics and weirdos are the worst. Everybody has an attitude nowadays that everybody is important, that they are all important than everybody else.
Luce is trying to fight people on a plane. You ever move anyone's things? Ha ha ha. R.I.P.
Planes are volatile spaces.
I think actually the one time I'd love to go on a plane and then move people's things and go, oh, sorry, I'm new. I thought me sitting under here, this was my overhead locker. So sorry. Here's your bag.
Yeah. Off you fuck. Thank you, Joseph the Svensson, for 10 of the finest dollary dues. Equates to around 8 of the English pounds. Thank you so much, mate. You're a hero. We are less than halfway to Super Chat target. We are halfway to membership target. We haven't been very entertaining tonight, Lise.
We're both tired. Sorry, chat. We've let you down. We've let the whole team down.
I thought we've been bad tonight. Liam is a very abrasive person. Do you reckon?
You're quite abrasive.
I'm nothing but friendly.
But I will counter it with this. How much drama do you have in your life?
Loads.
No, not that much.
Loads.
Not that much.
What do you mean by drama?
Just drama. You don't really have any drama in your life because you're just like, don't have time for that bullshit. Go somewhere else with it.
I have a lot less drama than I ever used to have. Yeah, actually, I've done quite well over the last 5 years. I've done quite well at getting rid of drama, just erasing it from the world, getting rid of it. So, some of it's on purpose as well. Like obviously by design, I've got rid of drama because drama's the path to a fucking early grave. Sometimes I think.
Yeah.
You know,
and
getting stressed about shit that, which is ironically what I've just ranted about, but getting stressed about shit that you have no control over, and getting stressed about, my biggest thing was getting stressed about petty shit, petty drama. I just can't be dealing with petty drama anymore. So now I'll call a cunt, and that's it. We get on with it. And if you don't like it, I don't fucking care. It's not drama. I think you're a cunt. It's done. Finished. That's it.
And drama's addictive as well. The amount of people that I'll overhear in coffee shops or whatever, and they'll be like, so come on then, give me the goss, what's going on? And their friends are like, yeah, nothing to report. I'm your boring friend. And it's like, no, you're the consistent friend. You're not the boring friend.
Yeah, there's a fucking distinct difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Bless him, awful game. TJ says, you've been fantastic, you lovely people.
Yes.
Oh, thanks, mate. Thanks. If, however, half of you could gift a membership and donate £2 in super chats, that'd be great. That'd be ideal, right? That gets to 90 quid and 100 members. If half of you ish could do that, okay? Then I actually get to go to sleep tonight and be nice and comfortable for a change. Cornet says, when you recognise evil, speak out against it and give no truces to your enemies. Have them on 127.
Should I have said something on the coach? Should I have... I feel really conflicted with stuff like this because the coach driver was handling himself really well.
So I don't think you need, in that circumstance, I don't think you need to. It didn't directly impact you necessarily. The coach driver was dealing with it, handling it, and basically saying to him, this isn't a plane, there's no wings. So I felt like in that particular circumstance it was being dealt with. If, however, you'd have got to the coach and you didn't have space for you and the kids' things that you'd paid for because of some other dickhead, that's when I think you then speak out, right?
I feel like I should have said something, just for the rudeness of it. Of like,
I mean, I don't feel like
poor planning.
I often feel like specifically with rudeness, I'm more inclined to say something. 100%.
And then he kind of threatened the coach driver. There'll be trouble, right, Grandad? He's at least 20 years younger than you. One of you's going on your ass.
Oh my God, Dave B, thank you for the gifted. Wee Man, thank you for the 5 gifted. Up to 56. The track is broken. Up to 56. Thank you so much, people. You're amazing. Amazing, 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 amazing human beings. All of you.
I know what I'll do. I will Facebook Messenger National Express and quote the coach I was on, and I will say your driver
handled it very well.
Handled it very, very well.
That's also quite a nice thing to do.
That's what I'll do.
Also quite a nice thing to do, actually, to be fair. Thank you so much, Wee Man, for 5. What a legend. 10 of you could do that. That'd be great. 10 of you could give 5? You say? You could? 2 Liams I'm listening to. How are you listening to 2 Liams, Wee Man? Wee Man got Lord Vader. He did. He did. If you're a grey name in chat, if you're a non-member in chat but you'd like a membership, put your hand up right now. I feel like the delay on YouTube's got longer as well, by the way.
I'm going to time it. I have my handy-dandy timer. Right. Wave at the screen.
Fucking sound like Blue's Clues right then.
I love Blue's Clues. Okay, wave at the screen. And stop waving. Okay. We're just going to sit here in silence.
Yep, that's it. This is the quality content you're paying for.
It was about 40 seconds, I think.
That's long. It used to be 12.
No, I don't think mine's ever been 12.
Yeah, it's definitely been 12 before.
Well, we've blown past 12.
I just waved on my screen.
Nope. Okay, you've just said the words Blue's Clues. There we go. 28 seconds. So it's
28
gotten shorter.
seconds. That's short.
My delay is shorter.
That's huge. Nobody, you're not a member.
If there's things to brag about being shorter, it's the delay.
Stop putting your hands up. You're not members, you lunatics. That doesn't make any sense. 20 seconds is a huge delay. It makes engagement difficult. We've had a real problem over the last few weeks with Super Chat and membership-based engagement. I think I need to solve this problem.
No boobs on stream. Not happening. You're not getting your boobs out on stream.
But,
I forbid it.
But if it solves that problem...
No. No. No.
How cool is this? I'm taking my Bella to Manchester tomorrow. We are off crack of dawn.
Crack of dawn.
I've got little airplane style trays with little brekkie platters in them.
Ah. Well, our adventure started at 6:15 this morning. Me and the boys woke up at 6:15 to get to Gosport for 11 a.m.
Oh my God, I nearly murdered Luce this morning. I have an alarm clock on my bedside table, right, which is just a normal alarm. In fact, it's a beautiful alarm clock. It's one of those slow wake alarm clocks that slowly brings a really bright light on, but it brings it on for like 30 minutes like a sunrise. Yeah. I love it. It's such a nice way to wake up. Such a nice way to wake up. So the other thing as well is, though, I don't normally use it, if I'm honest with you. I very rarely use my alarm clock because I don't normally have to get up early, okay? So I set it last night. I was like, I need to get up tomorrow because I need to drive to Birmingham for my tattoo. So I set it for 6 o'clock in the morning, which means normally at 5:30, it starts to come on. Over half an hour, the light slowly gets brighter and brighter and brighter until 6 o'clock, where it's at its max brightness that I've set it to. And the little tune starts and it's like, gently wake up, Liam. Wake up. And it's lovely. It's what it does.
Doesn't do that.
It literally says those words. I love it. It's lovely, right? It's really, really nice. Okay, I fucking love my alarm clock. Last night, I thought nothing of it. I got into bed, I pressed the alarm clock button, it flashed at me, I set it to 6 a.m, jobs are good, and I went to bed. I had a shit night's sleep. I almost always have a shit night's sleep before I go and get tattooed. I don't know why. I get stressed about the drive there and being sat there all day, and so I always sleep badly. And on the third and final time where I got back into bed after a third and final old man wee, I slowly but surely started to drift off again. And I was like, oh, fuck me, I might actually get some sleep. Then the bird started, and I was like, oh, fucking, I wish I had an air rifle. And then, so the bird started, and then your alarm went off.
Yeah.
And her alarm went off, and I was like, Lou said she was setting her alarm for 6, and my alarm was supposed to start at 5:30. So I touched my alarm clock at the point at which your alarm was going off. My alarm said 4:45. I was like, is she fucking serious? I know she likes to get up with plenty of notice, but is she fucking serious? I was livid. I was livid. I was just about to get some sleep, and I was absolutely fucking livid. And I was like, did you...
What has 8 eyes, 8 hands, and 8 legs? 8 pirates.
Thanks, Dave, for the 10. I was fucking fuming that way. And I turned to this, I was like, did you set your alarm for 5:45?
Yes, darling.
And she was like, no, 5:45. So I touched my phone, only to realise that since we moved to British summertime, I hadn't changed my alarm clock. And I felt like a cunt. On the flip side, genuinely very happy that you were also getting up this morning, because I'd have been bollocks otherwise.
Yeah, you'd have been very late.
I'd have been very late.
But I have to get up that early because I have my own anxiety to deal with and like get the jitters out and have a cup of tea. Plus, waking James up, one of his heart problems can get triggered in the morning, so it's really tricky if he has to have an alarm, how you manage that. Ben has never had an alarm clock because he was due to go to preschool during COVID and we ended up not sending him and then home educating, so he's never had an alarm clock. But he's always up early, just not this early. And then there's, what did we have to do? We had the bus, Asda, the coach, the ferry, the walk, and then to check in. So we had 6 things to do in a very short space of time with little legs. I'm so proud of them today.
I messaged you nice, so I'm proud of you, because that's sounds like hell to me.
Because James fell asleep on the coach on the way there, and James is almost as tall as me, so I've tried to carry him off a bus before, and it is some kind of weird daddy long legs routine trying to get a lanky 10, 11-year-old off the bus when you yourself is only 5'6". So he's trying to get him off. Then Ben falling asleep. He has a really heavy rucksack because he stuffs everything. I'm convinced he started to collect rocks on the way home because his bag was making him top heavy. He fell asleep on the way here, but I thought, you know what, he's the shorter of the two. I could probably manage him. Yeah. With a bag of rocks as well.
I can still just about pick him up. Ben.
Yeah.
The bigger one, he's got no fucking chance. If I try to pick him up, his feet will still be touching the floor.
Trying to carry him off the bus.
He's like a bag of spaghetti, isn't he? Not funny.
I think the bus driver didn't know where to put himself at one time. I tried to carry him off.
Josh the Enigma says, I only get up with 45 minutes until I have to be in the office, and I drop my daughter off during that time too. All right, Liam and Lisa's back from playing in my Blood Bowl League. 1-1 draw. I have no idea how Blood Bowl works. Hope you have fun, Harley. Yeah, fun, dude. Thank you, Drop Dead Dave, for the 10 anyway. You were a legend. Almost halfway on Super Chat target. But I need to go. Makes me sad. I need to go. We're supposed to be finishing now, actually, for an hour and a half stream.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Sergeant alarm clock that played Bugle Call? I never had that one. When I was in the army, and I was based at not Watersham, at Arborfield, which is where the training establishment used to be. I remember one evening, the lads were like, we're going to the shop, do you need anything? We'd only just turned up. I think I was down on my upgrade. It might be my upgraders. Was it my upgrade? I think it was my upgraders. And they're like, was it my... I can't remember. And someone was like, do you need anything from the supermarket? We just got there for whatever it was the course was. I was like, actually, yeah, I need a fucking alarm clock. I need an alarm clock. And they were like, okay. So I was like, any kind of like, normally buy the little like £10 digital ones that are like beep, 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 those kinds of alarm clocks. Those fuckers went to Asda or wherever it was. I think it's Asda that was near us in Reading. They bought back one of them metal round ones with the 2 bells and the hammer in between.
Oh, yeah.
Like the old classic ones, right? And I was like, I didn't want one of those. You used to have to wind it up, the alarm bit, set the alarm, and I swear to God, the first time that thing went off, I had a fucking heart attack.
Should the bed have you?
Should the bed have you? But that being said, as a person who was historically incredibly bad for getting out of bed, and we used to be on the piss the whole time, it was great. It was great. But in my older years now, I'm like, I don't need a heart attack every morning. I think it's good for me. Talking of heart attacks, on what was going to be basically an abandoned stream, we were halfway through membership goals, we were halfway through super chat goals, and then Mr. the Chapter Master Beta, I have to keep not calling him Chapter Master Ballsack, Mr. the Chapter Master Beta turns up to make it a full 103 tiny pricks felt today. Thank you, John, you fucking legend. For 50 gifted members, once again, you are unbelievable.
I had one of those, the 2 bells and then the drummer in the middle of it, one of those alarm clocks. And I always used to get worried that the winder, I hadn't wound it enough and then it would just stop ticking in the night time. I had such anxiety over that alarm clock. And then trying to wake up before it would go off so you didn't wake up everyone else in the house, because my first proper job, I started at 5:30 in the morning. I worked in a little cafe and we used to catch the night shift from the 3 factories that surrounded us. So we used to make a killing. It was great, but to be up early. And my boss was about 4'8", tiny woman in a quite a rough part.
Yeah.
Trying to capture night shift with their bacon batches. So that was an early start. Loved my little job. Hated the alarm.
My dad used to have the same alarm clock, and
He's still got it.
Yeah, and it would go off, and you would hear brrr, literally before he put his hand on it.
His hand must have like snapped out of the
like
quilt.
Fucking stealth ninja. Brrr. But then what he would do, and if you know these alarm clocks, you have like a little metal switch that you switch the little metal switch and it stops the hammer from moving.
Yeah.
And it'd be off. And then he would get up every time, and I used to be like, "How's he so good at getting up? He just gets up every time without fail." And I found out why, because at the other end of the bedroom, on the TV stand that they had, he had another alarm clock, which was a digital one that was fucking loud.
Oh god.
And it put like the radio on at full volume, and he set that one for like 10 minutes after the first one.
Oh, a snooze.
So if he didn't get up, it went off.
Yeah, because you can't snooze the.
And if that
radio,
and if that radio went off, that'd piss Mum off. So guess what? Dad always got up.
My very first digital alarm clock used to have "You Are My Sunshine" on it.
Did it?
Yeah.
Ah.
So I'd wake up. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
If that's not worth a £5 super chat from everybody, I don't know what it is.
My only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey.
Snooze. It worked. There we go. The most genius alarm clock I ever saw, which was, we used to share a room. I can't remember. This might have been Arborfield. I think it was a 4-man room we used to share. And the one that the most genius one I saw was like a beanbag alarm clock, right?
Oh, I've heard of it.
So it had a little digital face on the front. You set your alarm, right? And then the only way you can get it, because I'm terrible for a snooze button, the only way you could get this thing to snooze would be to throw it against the wall.
Is snoozing actually bad for you?
So it would go off, they'd fucking launch it across the room, and it would snooze. And then it would go off again. It's across the room now.
You gotta get out of bed.
Yeah. And so you think to yourself, right, genius. Absolute genius. What a great alarm clock. Until the person who owned it realised he could set the alarm, it would snooze, it on his bedside table, it would snooze, and you go, bang!
Yeah.
And it
Or
went
you
quiet.
just like clap it in your hands. And
So what would happen is his alarm clock would go off, he'd go, bang! We'd all wake up, and he'd go back to sleep.
Selfish.
How's that work? Oh, 40k medic, thank you so much, man. What a legend. We're doing it, chat. How many of you think that Lucy singing was worth paying for? Was that £5 a stop? Yes, potentially. If it makes you pay the super chat fee, go for it. We can do that. Childhood memory unlocked.
I once took the old klaxon from one of my odd jobs and redneck rigged it to the mains to wake a few friends up after a good night out in Brum. Their soul left their bodies that morning.
Oh my god.
That's you off the Christmas card list.
Yeah. I've always been bad at getting up. I tried having an alarm clock on the other end of the room a couple of times. I woke up without a pillow. The pillow on the floor next to a broken alarm clock. I'm shit at getting up, chat. I hate it. I hate getting up. I can stay up comfortably. I know I look fucked today after today. I can stay up comfortably till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning most nights. I'm trying, because we have kids and because Luce gets up early, the reason why we skifted the schedule quite heavily recently was because I'm trying to go to bed earlier, so I get up earlier. Also, actually, now we're in spring, we're somewhere around the corner, the early mornings are really nice, and I'm trying to get used to getting up with Luce.
Beautiful.
Thank you, 40k Medic, for the 20. You're a legend. I'm trying to get up with Luce, and the hope is, and Luce is not unaware of this, but the hope is in the next 2 to 3 weeks that I might start going for little jogs in the morning even, because it's quite nice now. But I don't want to put that out there as a thing I'm definitely going to do because I don't like getting up in the morning. So I'm trying to get up in the morning, but I'm terrible. I hate it. I hate getting up. I'm slowly getting used to it. I am slowly getting used to it. I'm slowly getting used to waking up in the morning and not feeling like shit every day. And now we've managed to move the schedule. Actually, interestingly, now we've managed to move the schedule so we're often in bed by 10, half 10. It's getting easier. So before we were finishing at like 10:30, 11. I wasn't getting to bed and to sleep till gone midnight, and then we were getting up at 6:30. That was killing me. Dave, thank you for the 2. It just says vibes. Vibes. Did 10 years in the army, still hate mornings. Yeah, 100%, same, 100%. And when I did 10 years in the army, I got up all the time. When I left and I joined Siemens locally, I started shift at 7 o'clock in the morning. I was getting up at 5:30 to get to work for 20 to 7 to take handover. And I did it. I can do it. Doesn't mean I like it. I do not like it. I'm from Wednesbury. We need to get creative in order to have fun. Where the fuck's Wednesbury?
I thought it said Wednesday. I thought he meant he was watching Wednesday's stream and referencing something.
I can always, if I need to get up, I will get up without fail.
Just woke up, finished yesterday's stream on VOD since I missed almost all of it. Now I'm here listening to Luce singing. Damn nice. Now on to painting Blood Bowl Lizardman for my 2 games in 15 hours.
Sounds amazing, Carlos. Luce, basically what we've done is we've doubled the super chat revenue since you started singing.
Well, I'm snoozed.
How long for?
Another 5 minutes.
Fuck. We need more singing though.
Shouldn't have snoozed me then.
My wife used to sing that to me when she loved me. Now she sings, "Will you just fuck off and repeat?" When I say she sings, she shouts. It's a form of singing nowadays, Dave, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a form of singing, shouting. Misses a Slipknot does it. Had a Garfield alarm clock when I was little. When it fired off, you could hear it in the next county.
Do you think nights and mornings just used to be quieter, so alarm clocks seemed louder? Because in ye olden times, they used to have nails stuck into candlesticks. So as your candle burned through the night, the nail would fall out and it would be so quiet that the sound of the nail hitting the candle dish would wake you up.
Is that true?
Yeah.
No,
honestly, it's true. I've maybe like, I don't know, 1700s or something crazy like that. But that used to be a very...
I mean, life is 100% noisier, right?
Or
without doubt.
A knocker-upper.
Life is... A what?
A knocker-upper.
What's...
It'd be people who their job would be to tap your window to wake you up.
From outside?
Yeah.
That's
so
creepy.
They'd be the night shift, essentially. And they'd go around waking people up. So I can't remember if it was that you were poor, that you had a knocker-upper, or that you were rich and you could afford a knocker-upper. Otherwise, it'd be the candlestick and nails in the candlestick.
That would never wake me up.
But it goes to show how quiet the nights were, that the sound of a nail hitting the dish was enough to wake you up.
The amount of times you wake me up and go, "Did you hear that noise?" I'm like, "No." There was a big bang. Was there?
Sounded like a gunshot. Go back to sleep.
I have no idea. I'm back off to sleep again. Or she'll be like, "You gonna go downstairs and check that out?" Check what out? I didn't hear. I can't. I don't care how quiet it was back then. nails falling in the dish wouldn't wake me up, I don't think.
But the knocker-upper, we did this with James a couple of years ago. So they would either shoot peas through like a tube, maybe like a bamboo tube or something, or they would literally have like a huge stick or throw stones at your window. But I can't remember if you were rich you had one, or if you were poor you had one.
I 100% swear to you, I've learned something today. I didn't know either of those things existed.
I'll show you on.
I kind of just assumed some of it was, it's light outside, I'm going to wake up now.
Maybe some of it was. Maybe.
That's how I like to live.
Well, you'd get much less work done in the winter.
That's fine.
Yeah, but in those days when you were paid per the item, you'd need
Don't you
to
think
get as many done as possible.
Don't you think life's weird, though?
In what way?
The great machine of you've got to get up and get to work and be there at 9 and finish at 5 and have a look. Like, don't you think it's weird now?
I still think it's kind of Victorian.
It's
like
just, I find it really, especially in the modern day as well now, where everything's on 24/7 all the time, right? I just feel like the old-fashioned 9 to 5 office job is now old-fashioned.
Yeah.
And I feel like with what we know about people and sleep patterns and rest and stress and all that kind of stuff, perhaps there could be a way that we could be a little bit more flexible with working hours, etc. And I'm not saying you only have to work 3 hours a week. I'm not saying that. We're not VT. I'm saying, like, being more flexible with when you start and when you...
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
I'm saying about being more flexible with when you start and when you finish work so that it fits your kind of human nature. Because a lot of this
maybe we'll all get there.
A lot of this is like when we used to do sleep study stuff for aircraft, a lot of it's like human nature shit, you know? It's not even like I'm lazy. It's like this person has a sleep cycle that's this amount of time, and this person has a sleep cycle that's this amount of time. And they're different, and that's okay. It's just natural. You can't change it. We spend most of our lives working and not actually enjoying life. 100% for you, Mimic. But Liam, it's Britain. It's almost always dark due to rain. Exactly. Think of the sleep we could get. Knocker-upper. I hardly knew her. Anything can wake me up if it's a dodgy notice, but I can go back to sleep easy.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine,
Sing this to me a lot.
my only sunshine.
Daily occurrence.
You make me happy when skies are grey. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine.
We made $35 last time, Luce.
My only
I need that again
sunshine.
to hit the target, all right?
Make me happy when skies are grey. You'll never know,
on you, chat.
dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
It's on you, chat. It's on you.
What's Alt 4?
Oh, F4?
Yeah.
Press it. Press Alt and then F4.
No, why? No, what? What will happen?
Things will happen and stuff.
Oh.
Now, slowly straight the streets. Oh, some of it happened! Carlos is back. He's carrying you lot. Thank you, Carlos. You fucking legend.
I used to love having an alarm clock that would click into the radio.
Yes,
too.
Warhagen. You pay for it to stop.
You can.
Someone in the stream just said they used to have a alarm. Hang on.
I went from third shift to first years ago. My friend hooked up my alarm clock into my Marshall JCM 800. Went off once. After the near heart attack, went to his house and punched him in the nose. Part 1.
I don't know what a JCM 800 is, but Marshall is an amp, isn't it? I think. Did he hook your
my
alarm clock up to an
God.
amp? That's amazing.
Near heart attack.
So now we paid for it to stop. Someone actually said that they used to have an alarm clock that was hooked up to the radio. They used to have to change the radio station every few weeks because they get used to the sound of the radio station and stay asleep anyway.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so.
That's interesting,
'Cause
isn't it?
it's,
Part 2 running a 100-watt half-stack for 6 hours irritated him. When I told his girl, she punched him in the nose. Good thing he was the bassist.
Amazing. Good that he was the bassist.
I do
So
need
that
to
means
go,
that
though.
it must be that he hooked his alarm clock up to a fucking amp, which is incredible, by the way.
I need to go because I need to walk Emily around the little park.
Okay. Okay. We're on £90.54. There's only £9.46 to go. Oh, she's saying goodbye, look.
Yeah, I am. I've got to walk the dog.
Yeah. I wish I had cash to gift because that was lovely.
Oh, Ed, stop it.
You're lovely, Ed. He also commented on the other stream
Mm.
when I said someone was my friend. I can't remember who it was.
See,
Oh,
Ed, he
when I
can't
said-
even remember.
When I said Peachy was my best friend, he commented on the streams there. He's like, I didn't watch it live. I have watched it now. I was like, oh. Caught out. Caught out. Actually, chat, I'm going to go as well, to be honest with you. We have done an extra 15 minutes. We've stayed till 22:31. You people are amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. You glorious humans. I don't think, if you can tell, I am fucked right now. You're amazing. You're incredible. Thank you so much for getting us to 105 finest members. You beautiful human beings. It means the world to us. You're amazing. Big shout out to Big Daddy John Mercado, who came in and gifted the 50 as well to get us over that edge. You're a dream. You're amazing. Thank you. You're lovely, and I can't thank you all enough. And this is why when I am exhausted sat here, and Lucy's like, we don't have to stream. I'm like, yeah, we do, because it's fun. So thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. You people are wonderful. At the very latest, we'll be back at 7:30 on Monday with another Great Hall Hobby Hangout. Tuesday, we have the Liam and Joe AOS show back, as well as another live game of 40k, which might be Joe Brom now, Custodies Orcs. Wednesday will be a special edition of the 40k show, because it'll be in the studio and it'll be me and Joe. And the reason for that is because Joe and I are doing something together, giggity. And 18th, there is no streams at all on Thursday the 18th. 19th, in a week's time, we'll be back with 40k After Dark. All right? There you go. You people are amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope we see you in the streams next week. There might be a bonus one some point this weekend if I do some hobbying and I want to sit here and build some Lumen. I'm thinking about building some Lumineth tomorrow afternoon on stream, depending on how Lucy's learning is going, how I'm feeling, how much I want to whinge about how sore my arm is. I might do a bonus hobby stream tomorrow afternoon. Keep your eyes out. It won't be normal scheduled stuff. We'll just go live, okay, like we used to for Twitch, but instead it will be doing it on YouTube because YouTube is better, because it is, right? Did someone snip the singing? I hope so. Thank you for streaming. Great weekend, all. Yeah, you too, dude. Thank you so much. You're amazing. And Misty Eston's given us a little £10 as well. We have to wait for that to come through. Thank you, Eston. What a hero.
Yeston the bestin.
Eston is the bestin. We love him very dearly. Very, very dearly. Love you, Eston. I love you. And Carlos. Carlos did $30. What a fucking legend.
He's all right, that fella.
He's all right, that Carlos.
He's all right.
Yeah. Eston was the bestin, but now he's making me wait for him. Thanks for the concert, says Tristan.
No, I'm so. I think I was actually quite anxious about today. I'm now on the come down so much that I feel a bit night shifty.
You were acting less anxious than I thought you were going to be.
Had to talk to the drummer in a band once to tell him his timing was really shit. He got so depressed he went down to the train station and jumped behind a train.
Lucy's just shaking her head, Eston. We waited for that. We waited for that joke. Thank you so much for the 10, Eston. You're a legend. You're all amazing people, actually. You're all a beautiful community. I appreciate you hanging out with us. Thank you so much for watching. We might see you over the weekend. If not, we'll definitely see you on Monday. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.